I did not have Chris Christie being a defender of women on my bingo card on that debate stage tonight. It was, and I heard you on with Alex earlier, it was the right thing to do. It was a nice thing to do. It's not the competitive thing to do, but it was the right thing to do. I mean, just the personal way in which Vivek Ramaswamy has been attacking Nikki Haley, I think is just tasteless, and it is not garnering him any support. It's getting very personal.
Yeah, it's like gross.
Yeah.
But let's play this, and we'll keep talking about Chris Christie, your guy who won the debate.
We're now 25 minutes into this debate, and he has insulted Nikki Haley's basic intelligence, not her positions, her basic intelligence. She doesn't know regions. She wouldn't be able to find something on a map that his 3-year-old could find. Look, if you want to disagree on issues, that's fine. And Nikki and I disagree on some issues. But I'll tell you this, I've known her for 12 years, which is longer than he's even started to vote in the Republican primary. And while we disagree about some issues and we disagree about who should be president of the United States, what we don't disagree on is this is a smart, accomplished woman, and you should stop insulting her.
Nikki Haley bought Chris Christie a drink tonight.
I mean,
I'm sure.
It was like a bit of like an old school throwback moment to me to politics where we disagree without being disagreeable.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's the way it used to be. I mean, in the level of personal ad hominem attacks that Vivek is doing is out of the Trump playbook. Is sort of that Trump character that he's trying to personify on the stage and show Trump's not here, but I'm in his shoes, right? And Christie basically knocked him out of his shoes and took him down a lot. I mean, and it was very clear how desperate he became as a consequence of that, because he was just trying to find anything to claw back on. Nikki appropriately stood there and said thank you. And nodded her head, because in that moment...
Although you said earlier that you thought she was very quiet, and that doesn't always work.
Well, she was quiet there, but that's a different moment than the rest of the debate. The rest of the... I mean, certainly in the beginning, Nikki was not the Nikki from the last 3 debates, in my view. Where she came in and almost immediately grabbed command of the stage. She didn't this time, and I think she didn't for probably advice of, some of her team. But that moment stood out on its own because Chris Christie did what a traditional candidate for the office of the presidency would do when, on a stage like that, where someone is being an ass and says, look, okay, that's not why we're here. And you can't go after her or him that way. And so I thought that was a solid moment for both him and Nikki. And again, I'm thinking about it, that's why those two stood out in that space for me, and the other two seemed much more desperate this time.
In the Survivor version, the alliances were built.
The alliances were built.
It was very clear.
That's right.